We all find ourselves trapped in a glass box, surrounded by barriers and obstacles. We can see what we want the outcome to be on the other side, and in most cases, we know exactly what we need to do to get there, but we fear breaking the glass because we fear the mess it's going to make. And I hate to be the one to break it to you, it's messy getting out of the box. Well, welcome to Shatter the Glass podcast. I'm your host, Steffany Rossi. I'm Steffany Rossi, and welcome to Shatter the Glass podcast. I still struggle with reminding myself of this daily too, but no one cares about you the way you think they care about you. I found myself trapped in a glass box in my 20s, placed in there by someone else. I allowed myself to be limited with a salary because it's more than I ever thought I would make in my 20s. And it was something that was dangled in front of my face like a carrot every single day. And I was like a rabbit in the cage and I couldn't get out. I could never get to that carrot. I could never get to the fulfillment or the happiness. I overworked myself. I was always trying to prove myself. And I wanted to show everyone that I was worthy of that salary. And it doesn't matter what anyone thinks I should get, because at the end of the day, it's about me and what I deserve. But it didn't matter anything I did day to day. It didn't matter how much I overworked myself. It didn't matter how many projects I took on. It didn't matter about any of it because I was still stuck in that box that someone else put me in. There is a specific instance that really put into perspective and light that I was stuck in a box. I was out to lunch with one of my friends. He was an acquaintance at the time. He's a good friend now. And he was in the middle of 75 hard. And I have never done 75 hard because at that time, there was no way I was going to do any diet or give up alcohol or, drink that much water in a day. That was never, that my brain couldn't even comprehend that kind of discipline. And I was complaining, whining. I don't know what I was even talking about at the time. And he stopped me mid-sentence and looked at me and said, "When are you going to stop limiting yourself to your salary? That's not even a high number. You're capable of so much more." And knowing me, I probably didn't even know how to respond, nor did I ever probably respond in that moment or in the days after, because I didn't know what to say. I felt like I just got slapped in the face in a good way, because it showed that someone believed in me that didn't know me, that saw potential and saw that I was limiting myself without really knowing me. Looking back, this was a moment where I was like, holy crap. And I called my dad and I told him what he said, and my dad was like, Steph, he's not wrong. And, not that I needed validation that what he said was true, because I already knew it was, but having my dad also say that also meant so much. And it still took me time to adjust and to figure out what I needed to do, but it started my entire reflection on what brought me happiness. And, for so long, it's go after the salary, go after the salary, go after the salary, and I did that. And I think we are trained that once you have this amount of money, you're happy, but it doesn't work like that. In a perfect world, maybe, but it just doesn't. This was the true catalyst of the journey I was about to go on. And I don't think I understood or recognized that until after I started in the journey. The entire conversation I had that day brought to the surface of what happiness looked like in my career going forward. I had the wrong expectations around money and around what money was supposed to bring me. I thought having the money would have this happiness effect, and on paper, the salary, the husband, the car, the house, it's there, and it's not like once you get all the check boxes, like you're automatically happy. And it took that situation and that experience for me to really evaluate happiness. And all the money brought was stress and burnout. And I allowed that to happen because I thought that's what we were supposed to do. The happiness didn't come from money. And the money actually brought more stress and burnout than anything. My happiness came from my freedom. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am so happy you're here. Make sure to check us out on YouTube and all of our social media channels. We'll see you next time on Shatter the Glass podcast.